we're actually going to get into some Schmoeminati talk now before our guest Chance Ellison arrives. And there we go. Yeah, Soto is back. Okay. So I meant to bring up this graphic or upload it again so I could bring it up again, but I honestly forgot. But I did a few weeks ago. Maple Dan, you were here from the last scene from the what was the spectacular, and there were handprints on the wall behind Andrew Guy, and we got into this whole Schmoeminati discussion. Well, we got another scene of Andrew Guy. Apparently, he has gone somewhere and woken up in the past because he for some reason thinks that Team Action is on their way to do some damage in the Schmoedown. But Double D, I know you had said last time that you had looked really carefully at some stuff. How carefully did you examine this scene? Did you spot anything? Do you have any new theories?
Well, I have a difference of opinion. I think someone rebooted him to factory settings. That's what I think. Where he's back to his where he was built to his factory settings. We're like, yeah, Team Action's going to be the best. Where's the belt, baby? That's my take on it. But I didn't have enough time to actually analyze it fully because I started a new job, so it was very difficult to look at it with a magnifying glass. But that's my take on that, is that someone just pressed the reboot starting on Andrew Guy, and we're back to whatever year he was at. So.
Yeah, and also, by the way, our stereo listeners, thank you very much. Leave us your comments right now, especially. Let us know your thoughts on the Schmoeminati. Who's behind it? Anything you've noticed, Easter eggs, clues, anything. This is all very interesting to me.
I know it's not going to happen, but I don't know. Part of me really wants Mark Ellis to be the head of the Schmoeminati.
That would be really cool, man.
I find it very weird that a couple of seasons ago, we're having a similar storyline from seasons past, where Christian doesn't read the fine print, and someone is his new boss. It's like and it just made me feel weird that when we had Winston on here, he said we had a chance to draft that. I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen. I'm just saying it's weird that we're seeing this repetition of storyline, and now that Grace is
that's a wrestling thing. Like every couple of years you get a repetition of the same storylines.
Okay,
it's curious.
Be a hint that Thad is behind it all.
It's curious that you bring up Thad, because you said rebooting him to factory settings, but that would have been their match against the Night Sisters, not their match against Team Trek. Their match against Team Trek came just after a win against the Deep Cuts, the team of Thad Williams and Aaron Wilhelm.
Whoa. Real quick, we got a stereo comment here. Let's see what's going on, what they think.
So Andrew Guy is one of the few players in the league that seems like he's declined in play and knowledge over the years. He seems like he got worse and worse. Is this the Schmoeminati's way to revert Guy back to his 2017 self? The Andrew Guy that beat Dan Murrell, the Andrew Guy that competed for the team's belts. Is this their way of trying to turn Andrew Guy into a threat by making him back to his 2017 self? Kind of a weird theory.
Maybe. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Dan, Double D, now when you say they rebooted him, are you trying to say that you think he's an actual robot?
Hey, I could be a robot for all I know.
Yeah. It's like in Toy Story 3 where they reset Buzz Lightyear.
Right. Now, okay. I kept watching this after seeing the hands on the wall in the one scene. Now I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at the bottle of alcohol that's on his nightstand. I'm just trying to see or notice anything. I didn't notice anything that I can connect to anything else, but that's mainly because I'm not the most knowledgeable.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. Someone posted something on the Facebook page where Andrew Guy was Ben Bateman was like, "Where have you been?" And Andrew was like, "Where have you been?" Oh, shut up! Or he said something like that, and I think that's very suspicious. Like maybe I feel like that's a clue somewhere. I feel like someone is trying to signal us to that. But
I want to give a shout out to the line. Where's your mask? Why does everyone keep asking me that?
Yeah.
That's why I said someone rebooted them because in 2017 we weren't in a pandemic, so it makes more sense. Or
They were clearly trying to get rid of, because he did find out who was behind everything, and he was about to reveal it before he was captured.
Yeah.
So they definitely were removing his memories, but that's not like an exact science or anything. So I don't know if if it's intentional that they set him back so far, or if they were just trying to take out the knowledge of the Schmoeminati, or
maybe it's something like
the even scarier thing.
They zapped his brain and it just went too far back, and it was just, oops, we made a mistake.
Maybe.
Well, the even scarier thing is that it started way back, sometime right after the point in which he is reverted to, and maybe they were forming through that whole series of events that happened through anarchy and all of that, and they had to send him all the way back because maybe he's been digging for years. We don't know what mission Andrew's been on this whole time.
What do you think about this, Ellis being the leader and working with Grace?
I was wondering if maybe Skybound was behind all of this. One, he was abducted at the Skybound building. Two, these guys now come in and are trying to make these moves, removing Christian at least from a little bit. Maybe not removing his power, but putting someone more powerful over him that can dictate to him what is going to happen and not.
I think it's more likely that Skybound is a pawn in this than they are behind it.
Well, yeah. I'm kind of wanting to go, and I'm going to take stereo here real quick, but I kind of want to think maybe when Christian got in and they joined forces, Skybound got that greedy, like, man, we really like this. We see a lot of potential with this. Let's just take this from Christian and make it our own. I don't know, man. We'll see, but let's see what this stereo comment thinks.
Do you guys think what's happening with Grace is somehow connected to the Schmoeminati? I see that theory going around a little bit, and I'm not so sure. I think the Grace thing is separate from the Schmoeminati, but it's an interesting thought.
Maple Dan?
I don't know. I just looked up Skybound here and found out that their name is Skybound Entertainment. Skybound Skynet. Oh my god.
That's a little bit of a leap.
They're taking over, guys.
Well, I mean, I think that, it could be a red herring, but at this time I'd be double thinking myself. But I really do think that Grace is working with the Schmoeminati. She was working with the Lions Den, and we've seen how we just see how destructive they were back in the heyday. So I think that was the cue. Like, a mysterious group. Yeah, what other mysterious group has there been in the Schmoedown other than the Schmoeminati? So I feel that, yes, Grace is part of the Schmoeminati, or at least working with them, maybe being used as a pawn to kind of throw Harloff like a monkey wrench in the works. But we're just going to have to wait and see how this is going to unfold.
I wonder, I'm a little curious to what Ryan means by this, because I am a wrestling fan. I lived WCW versus WWF. I'm wondering what he means by this. Is this like invasion angle WCW?
Well, WWF ended up, if I'm correct, if I remember this correctly, WWF and then WCW started. They were fighting each other and all that. They ended up having some people left one and went to the other, vice versa. Yep. In the end, I'm pretty sure WWF bought out WCW. Yep. They merged and started WWE.
That is all 100% Correct. But then when they started doing the invasion angle, they had WCW, well, the lesser stars of WCW come in, and then they had people that were were moles in the WWF camp that switched over to the WCW. That's more what I'm wondering is if it's in that vein that he is referring to.
I'm not sure, but I would love to see something like that where there is a rival league like that. You know what I mean? That storyline would be great, but I think now is too soon to start introducing that. Because you don't have a rival league. You need to build one up first, wouldn't you?
What if it's just one faction? What
Like
if it's a faction that is splintering from its manager and trying to replace them with somebody else?
No. Here's a thought. It's Brad.
I was just thinking that.
With FCL.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say, is that the first class league is another family.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
But here's another thing. Here's another thought. Remember Brianne Chandler when she came up with a list of all the people who were gonna sign on? They were gonna leave if Thad didn't remove Mike or whatever.
Yeah.
What if that's also part of this?
Maybe. That's going back a ways, but maybe.
I know, but it's like planting the seeds.
Yeah. Who knows?
So what if we combine these and we've got Skybound is in on it, Grace is in on it. Thad is in on it, Ellis is in on it, and then if a faction is in on it, I'm not saying this just because our guest is in this faction, but Corruption would be the faction that I would imagine would. I mean, it's in the title, Corruption. They want to start shit and stir the pot. I don't know what other faction other than Corruption could it be?
Chandra's new faction taking over.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at when I was saying a faction that is trying to replace its manager currently, and it's just gonna be Skybound invading, or Schmoeminati invading,
maybe,
or whatever.
But this is what Ryan. This is what Ryan meant with the WCW thing. So it would be the invasion angle. So it'd be Invasion WCW, where all of them are technically WWF, but you'd have one side Schmoeminati, one side. Gotcha.
Yeah, that
would be fun. It would be fun.
Yeah.
So of all the people that we've mentioned that could be behind it, who do you guys think it should be, or like who do you want it to be? Like I'm kind of favoring the Mark Ellis angle, dude. That really sounds cool and interesting to me.
It does, but after talking a little bit about Gilmore, after hearing Harloff say multiple times he thinks that the guy who should replace him is Gilmore, I think this is the best way to actually do that.
Yeah, I'm kind of saying with all of it.
Yeah.
What if Ellis is behind it all and he recruited Gilmore?
Maybe
doing it so that he and Gilmore can run the show.
Yeah, more than one cook in the kitchen. I mean, anything is possible.
Yeah, just it being an Illuminati-esque, whether we're talking like the real life version or the like Tony Stark comic, it's always a group of individuals that we're talking about. So we are always looking for the head, but maybe we're not casting a wide enough net. And I do believe there's the potential for multiple people to be the Schmoeminati that we're all talking about.
You want to cast a wide net. I'm about to cast a wide net here. We got like 1 minute left before we bring in Chance. Played a great match yesterday. Do we think that Finstock, Bobby Gucci, could pull something like this off? I mean, you said cast the net wide. I don't have much faith in the guy to do anything that matters in the Schmoedown, to be honest with you. But I mean, what do we? Is it possible he could have something to do with it or be the mastermind?
He's possible taking credit for it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe his mask. Like the Finstock mask is sentient, and it just whoever's wearing the mask is the leader.
That's a better angle.
Great way to bring back Finn Draco.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, that's going to do it for our Schmoeminati talk. we're definitely going to have discussions about this more as the season progresses and we see more stories about it. But Soda, thank you very much for joining us for that conversation. You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.